looking at the kanji, which has a core meaning of myself. In the context that we're going to be using it in, it will be pronounced ji, and it's basically a primitive picture of a nose. Let's have a look. These are the earliest characters. They're oracle characters between 3,000 and 4,000 years old, and you can see there that's a picture of a nose basically. Let's have a look at the more modern versions. These are the bronze characters, and have a look at the bottom row because that's a fabulous picture of a nose with what looks like a most gorgeous moustache underneath. And finally the standardized form. You can see on the bottom row again some lovely moustaches, but up the top that's basically very close to the way that we see it today. You may be wondering why a picture of a nose has come to represent myself. But if you've ever been to Japan or anywhere in East Asia, you'll know that when a Japanese person refers to themselves, they actually put a finger on their nose. They touch their own nose to indicate themselves. So the nose has come to actually be a representation of one's self. So that's why the picture of the nose to mean myself. Let's have a look at the stroke order. We start with the top stroke and we go here right to left. Then we go down on the left. And it's a square shape, so we always go across and around without taking our pen off the paper. Then with square shapes we put the strokes in the middle next, and we go left to right, of course, left to right, and finally we close off that box shape. So there we have the character ji, meaning myself. Now there are two forms of transport that we can write using the character ji, and this is the first. It's ji do sha. And that means a self-moving wheel or vehicle, and it's the formal way of saying car. It's like saying automobile in English. Okay, let's just have a look very quickly again at the stroke order. So the top part goes there, and of course this is a picture, an old picture of a nose, isn't it? If you think actually, the bit that I'm drawing now is exactly the same as the character meaning I. So to remember this character, you can think of this top area here as being just the bit that goes between the eyes. Anyway, that's G. And then we've got movement here. Now we do the element on the left first. So across and left to right. Then we do the picture here. Bird's eye view of a cart. Then the wheel. And then an extra heavy weight on the bottom. Axle down the middle. And that of course means heavy. And here goes the stroke, which means strength, and it looks like a muscly arm. So of course you put heavy and strength together and you've got moving. So we've got self, moving, ji do, and finally we have the character for wheel or vehicle. And I've just drawn the first wheel. Now I'm drawing the bird's eye view of the cart, and then I'm drawing the next wheel down the bottom, and I'm linking it all together finally with the axle right down the middle like that. And we get jidosha, automobile. And finally we have jitensha, or self-revolving wheel or vehicle, and that refers to a bicycle. Jitensha, bicycle. Now we don't need to know the 10 character for GCSE, so we're going to write that in hiragana. Let's have another quick look at the stroke order. So here is G. So starting of course with that first stroke indicating the nose, which goes between the eyes, and underneath we have actually the identical element to I. Of course it's pronounced ji. Then we have hiragana te, because we don't need to know the kanji for GCSE syllabus. Jiten, and then finally we have sha, wheel or vehicle. I've just drawn the bird's eye view of the first wheel. Here's the cart looking down. And here's the second wheel, and joining it all together with the axle, jitensha or bicycle.